Hello, and welcome to our online information session. My name is Keith Annis, and I am the program manager for the certificate program in teaching English to speakers of other languages, or TESOL. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I'd like to begin my presentation by telling you a bit about the job opportunities in this exciting field, and then cover some of the details of our certificate program. I'd encourage you to submit your questions via the Q&A function of Zoom in the toolbar below, and we'll get to them at the end of our presentation as time permits. Otherwise, I'd also encourage you to email any questions that you don't get addressed today to our extension-education@berkeley.edu email address, and I'll personally respond to help clarify. I'll also be providing that email at the end of our presentation. That said, I'm confident that this presentation will shed plenty of light on this program. So let's go ahead and get started. So why earn a TESOL certificate? Why should you consider this particular certificate? Well, we will address several questions throughout this presentation. But first of all, our TESOL certificate can be all the qualification needed to teach English in many parts of the world. However, if you are thinking about teaching ESL in California, you may need an additional certification. A TESOL certificate from UCB Extension is an affordable first step to ensuring or being accepted into a master's degree or adult education credential program. A few words on nomenclature. In this presentation, we'll be using both TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, and ESL, English as a second language. TESOL is an umbrella term frequently used to denote certificate or degree programs that prepare students to teach English to non-English speakers anywhere in the world. UCB Extension has adopted the term TESOL for its certificate program. ESL, or English as a second language, is used when English is being taught to non-English speakers in an English-speaking country. An analogous term is EFL, or English as a foreign language, is used when the teaching of English takes place in a country where English is not the predominant language, such as Germany or China. So, first and foremost, why pursue a career in ESL? Worldwide, over 1.5 billion people currently study English. The number of English learners is expected to grow further. In fact, the population of English learners is predicted to grow by nearly 2.5 billion more in the next decade, more than 1/4 of the people on Earth. Globally, this translates into a need for high-quality English instruction. Our TESOL certificate can open the door to these opportunities. The need for qualified English teachers is so large that it's not a question of whether you'll be able to find a job teaching English abroad, but rather which job in which country is the best fit with your interests and career goals. In California, there is also a growing need for ESL instructors. Approximately 19% of all California residents have limited English proficiency. As the slide illustrates, improved English proficiency increases earnings anywhere from 17 to 135%. Policy studies estimate that California will need an additional 100,000 teachers in K-12 and adult education for the next decade due to a teacher shortage. This also includes a need for teachers of English as a second language. So, why earn a TESOL certificate? Well, there's growing demand for English language instruction. To summarize, the high global demand for English provides many job opportunities, especially for those who want to teach English abroad. For more English teaching jobs abroad, a TESOL certificate for most English teaching jobs abroad, a TESOL certificate will be sufficient. Many of our alumni use their certificate that way. Having a TESOL certificate offers a range of professional and personal benefits. If you have thought of teaching abroad, here are 4 commonly cited benefits. Teaching abroad is an excellent way to finance your travels and to learn a foreign language. Some employers will cover or subsidize airfare and living accommodations. Whether at the beginning of work life or close to retirement, many people find these opportunities quite compelling. You will gain marketable skills. As a teacher abroad, you will have the opportunity to show initiative on a daily basis and gain confidence to address the unexpected and problem-solving scenarios that are required on the spot. In addition, you'll be immersed in a different culture where you'll absorb and learn new approaches and perspectives that you can gain in no other way. Teaching English abroad accelerates your development of organizational and communication skills, as well as group management skills. There's really hardly a better way to develop effective communication skills than having to command, keep engaged, and teach a group of people who don't speak the same language or share your culture. Comfort with and understanding of cultural diversity is increasingly important in the global workspace. When you teach abroad, developing sensitivity to and respect for cultural differences is a vital aspect of successfully managing your English learners. A word of caution: foreign language instruction is a largely unregulated industry. So please conduct your own research of English language institutes or other potential employers before you ever accept a job in the future. Surveys report job satisfaction is high among ESL teachers. So this is a huge benefit, right? Why? Well, teachers see that the impact of their work as students' English improves is rewarding for them. Improved English skills connect with the primary goals of education. Better job opportunities, access to better educational opportunities, and quicker assimilation and integration into a new culture. All these aspects prove to be highly rewarding for ESL teachers. So what are your career options? In order to earn a TESOL certificate at Extension, you will need a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. Once you have earned your certificate, teaching English abroad is one of the easiest career options to pursue. Our certificate is recognized all over the world, especially in Latin and Central America, Asia, and Southeast Asia. So with your bachelor's degree, your Berkeley TESOL certificate, you will have many doors opening for you in these parts of the world. If you decide to teach English as a second language in the US without pursuing additional credentials, well, private language schools accept candidates with a TESOL certificate. Other employment opportunities, including private tutoring, customized language training for international companies, for example, high tech, engineering, airlines, etc., or nonprofits such as the International Rescue Committee and refugee transitions, provide English instruction to refugees and recent immigrants, and are also viable employment opportunities after this certificate. If you're interested in teaching English as a second language at a California community college, you will need a master's degree in TESOL in addition to the certificate. So these are a bit more involved and require additional education, these types of opportunities, working at a community college, for example. If you're interested in teaching English as a second language at, per se, an adult school, you'll also need to earn an adult education credential. Later on in this presentation, I will share with you unique opportunities to use our TESOL certificate with in order to complete these types of more complicated employment scenarios down the road. So, welcome to Berkeley. Why should you consider earning your TESOL certificate at UC Berkeley? Well, aside from the employment landscape that we just talked about, I'd like to talk a little bit about UC Berkeley Extension at this time. UC Berkeley Extension is the continuing education arm of the flagship campus, UC Berkeley. Since 1891, we've been assisting students in reaching their professional goals and accomplishments. We offer more than 65 professional certificates in specialized programs and more than 2,000 classroom and online courses with 45,000 enrollments each year. So we really pride ourselves in fostering impact with education, as well as our academic excellence. All extension courses and instructors, the TESOL program included, are approved by our appropriate campus department. In particular, this certificate is fully supported by the UC Berkeley Education Department. Our certificate requires an academic advisory board, which comprises of campus faculty and industry leaders who review the curriculum to ensure that it's up to date and in touch with emerging trends and hot topics of the industry. So a little bit about the program now. We're looking at a program overview. Our instructors teach English as a second language at a variety of institutions, organizations, and they really bring their real world experience to the classroom. When you enroll in a UC Berkeley Extension course, you are guaranteed professional instruction based on firsthand knowledge, along with Berkeley quality education, without the application process or excessive costs. Our TESOL certificate is the most comprehensive in the Bay Area. Upon completion, you will have taken 7 courses, 255 hours of instruction, and 17 semester units. If you are new to teaching and have never taught before, by the time you have completed the certificate, you will be ready. Our practicum and course design provides an opportunity to take your learning to the next level and explore innovative ways to best integrate your instruction skills in the classroom. The practicum is the capstone of the certificate program and distinguishes it from other TESOL certificates. To earn a certificate, you must complete the 7 required courses. There are no electives. We have designed the class schedule with professionals in mind, and working professionals at that. Most classes meet during the evening, during the week, and anticipated to run between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m. On average, it takes about 1 to 2 years to complete all of the coursework. The 7 required courses listed here cover core concepts, methods, and skills of teaching English as a second language. Although there is not a prescribed order for taking the courses, we strongly recommend that you keep the following in mind. Fundamentals of Linguistics is a foundational course and should be taken prior to second language acquisition, which requires a basic understanding of linguistics. In the Methods and Materials course, you will learn how to prepare a lesson plan, how to evaluate different textbooks, and the basics of different teaching strategies. Methods and materials should be taken right before the practicum, which must be taken last. If you hold a TESOL certificate and want to teach English as a second language in an adult education school in California, an adult education credential is required. UCB Extension also offers this credential. So all 17 units earned in the TESOL certificate program may be applied towards the credential here at Extension. If you are interested, please consult the Extension website for more information. UC Berkeley also has an articulation agreement with the University of San Francisco. So what does this mean? Okay, well, our articulation agreement with the USF allows certificate holders to transfer all 17 units earned at Extension and apply them towards a master's degree in teaching English as a second language. So if admitted to USF, their program currently requires the completion of an additional 5 courses to complete the master's. That's a pretty amazing opportunity and really a bridge directly into this master's program. Who will you be learning from in this program? Well, you'll learn from instructors who are experienced practitioners in their field, skilled experts deeply vested in your success. They are passionate about sharing their knowledge with you and helping you achieve your professional and career goals. They bring the concepts of the classroom and help to eliminate these topics through real world examples from their own job experience. With your fellow students, you work through examples and gain firsthand knowledge through case-based scenarios and interactive projects. So here we'd like to introduce you to 2 of our instructors, Carol Lethaby and Dr. Sadiq Papal. Carol Lethaby has been an ESL instructor, TESOL teacher trainer, and curriculum developer since 1986. She has lived and worked in the UK, Austria, France, Greece, and Mexico. Dr. Sadiq Papal has been an ESL instructor since 1980 and has taught the subject in both Asia and Europe. He's the chair of the ESL department at the College of Alameda and a professor at the University of San Francisco. Carol Lethaby and Sadiq Papal are both Extension honored instructors, an acknowledgement given to outstanding instructors for their contribution to Extension and the support of our students. So where you will learn. The TESOL certificate has traditionally been a classroom-based in-person program, but we have moved the entire program to live online so folks can join from across the country and can plan to complete their program from afar. Please note that the fixed date live online modality means that there are specific times listed in Pacific time when students are required to join class meetings via Zoom. It is also important to note that fixed date online courses have specific start and end dates. Students' access to the course begins on the course start date, and learners should plan to complete assignments within the specific dates posted in their online classroom and as set by their instructor in the course syllabus. Live online courses provide an interactive learning experience with scheduled synchronous online sessions held via Zoom, and again, to emphasize, in Pacific time. As with courses held in person, the teaching methods for live online courses emphasize lectures, demonstrations, group discussions, and collaborative activities. Students should be prepared to attend every session and engage in class via a webcam. Earning your certificate. Okay, earning the certificate is a relatively simple process. First, you register for the certificate and pay the non-refundable registration fee. You should plan on doing this before your start of the third course in the certificate, and we recommend this so that students have an opportunity to take their first course or two to make sure that the program is the right fit for them. Complete all of the required courses with the grade of C or better within the 5-year time period. You pay for courses as you enroll in them. The course fees vary based on the number of academic units for each course. But to complete all of your courses, it's estimated to be a cost of around $4,735. This doesn't include the costs for your course materials or the one-time $150 certificate registration fee. And please note that this program cost estimate is subject to change as course fees may change over time. Once you finish your program, you will receive a digital and physical copy of your certificate issued by the UC Berkeley Extension Registrar's Department. So you may be asking at this point, where do graduates end up? Well, our graduates do big things. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. After receiving, for example, after receiving his TESOL certificate, Aaron Sponseller went on to pursue a master's in TESOL and then a PhD in applied linguistics. He now lives in Japan year-round and works with English language learners at Hiroshima University. Nora Mitchell is another example. She successfully launched her business, English with Nora, where she teaches English to Japanese professionals who are working in the Silicon Valley. And Frank Brisky is currently working at Stanford University's English in Action program, where he is an English language conversation partner and coach. Each week, he meets with an international graduate student or visiting scholar and discusses topics that are interesting to that student to help that student better understand the English language through meaningful context. And moving on to next steps. So how can you get started? So you'll need to create a student account through our website. You'll use this account to enroll and pay for your courses, schedule your exams, find out about your grades, and track your progress throughout the certificate. Again, one of the biggest benefits is that you pay as you go. So you don't pay for the entire certificate at once. Rather, you pay for each course as they come. For your first course, we recommend that you consider starting with Fundamentals of Linguistics or Cross-Cultural Communication. We also suggest to fill out and sign up for our newsletter. You'll receive monthly emails about upcoming TESOL courses, as well as new blog posts. And questions. So we've received a few questions here through our Q&A from some of you, which I'm happy to answer during the balance of our time. And again, I'd like to recommend that you do keep us in mind to email directly, and we can clarify any questions that might come up after we conclude this presentation. So one question, do I need to know the language of my students? No, the use of students' native languages in class is actually discouraged, even when students are beginners. In many settings, students in the same class will actually speak a variety of native languages. And so it is important to steer away from the use of and maintain the use of English within those settings. Where can I find the course schedule? So you can find that by visiting our homepage, choosing area of study, and then choosing education from the drop-down menu. Then click on the professional certificate, teaching English to speakers of other languages. You'll then see currently available courses, which are listed on the right side of the web page. You can click on those on the right side. And there you'll be able to find and learn more about the courses and the course description and schedules and things of that nature. Do I have to take the classes in order? So although there's no prescribed sequence for taking the courses, we do recommend, as mentioned, that you start with fundamentals of linguistics before second language acquisition. And then once again, probably closing out more advanced would be with methods and materials. And just before your final class, the capstone course, which is the practicum. Do you offer job placement at the end of the program? So while we cannot offer job placement per se at the end of the program, our instructors will share resources with you throughout the program, including strategies on how to apply for ESL instructor jobs and just share best practices and experiential information based on the vast amount of, experience that these instructors are bringing to the classroom. You'll also be building network within your classroom of peers who are not just your peers in class, but will also become part of your professional network upon graduation. So as we close out, I'd like to remind you that if we weren't able to get to any of your questions here, to please email directly extension-education@berkeley.edu. I'd love to hear from you, and I will respond directly and help clarify any other questions that might have come up or provide any additional guidance to help you get going on your new educational adventure. So thank you all again for your time today, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Bye-bye.